And we're live.
Happy horrors, everyone. I'm Loren Molloy, author, actress, screenwriter with the Dead Dollies cast. How you all doing? Join us now. How are you?
Yeah, I'm Professor Pooch. And Professor Film and Music Industry.
I'm Angel Murray.
Angel Marie. I felt like there needed to be something after that. It was you need like a catchphrase. I'm Angel Marie. Something.
Angel Marie Horror.
Okay, horror.
Horror. It almost sounded like a pirate sound afterwards. Angel Marie. Horror. Now I wish I got that Raven, Dead Raven, that horror show Jack had on display last show I saw him. Literally, I would be like, here you go,
I should have put Mr. Cole.
So how's everybody doing?
And everybody knows me. Just so you all know, audio from me is running on a slight delay, but your levels are all fine. You all sound good.
So who do we got here? Make sure you comment in the comment section so we can keep talking with you guys and know that you're there.
Anybody got a telescope?
Ooh. If you have binoculars, that would also be fun. Just because, hey, why not?
It does, yeah.
A monocle would also be fun and strange. Ooh, right.
Like that.
Don't worry, this conversation won't just be about eyeglasses and things of it. Now that would be horrific. No, I'm just kidding.
It's funny because I'm hearing this in this ear, and then I'm hearing it 30 seconds later in this ear. and it's just like...
Hey, a dual personality.
I always knew that's what I was.
The left brain and right brain, they process it. It'll eventually generate about 20
At some point, it'll get it together. It's dependent.
And it'll just like, the brain's going, that's not compute.
My brain just says that all the time. Does not compute. And then I stare at somebody blankly while blinking because I need more words, it usually means. And I just go, I don't know, I need more words for that. Does not compute, does not help to answer a question. Yes, no.
Then you just say
No. You got careful. Just you could do a lot of like confusing head things. Where you're like, yeah, I don't know.
I wonder what the...
That's a baby. It's just like a Wonka. All right, I see we got a bunch of comments already. What we got in the group? Tell us.
All right, so we have so far Pete Fulmer, Mark Kelleher, Jeff Krasser, Gene Fulmer, Carrie Rose, Sienna Morrow. We have a relative of mine, Ed Weldon.
Why, hello.
And Barb Rosenberg Crossland. Hello, everybody. Thank you for stopping in.
Happy horrors, everyone. Thanks for joining. Make sure you share and bring your friends in so that we can all talk about horror.
It's about
and about these wonderful books.
Oh, yeah. This is just some of the creations of the mind of Loren Molloy. Sometimes an author has to talk in the third person about oneself. It kind of is the only way to get through the day. So Loren Molloy says,
I've often found there's nothing at all wrong with listening to the voices in your head. You're not crazy until you start arguing with them.
Oh, so I'm already too. I used to tease that there was Loren, and Lola. And Loren got shit done. Loren was just kind of like, like the kid that never grew up. And Lola was the sassy little, like, okay, well, like she'll put you in your place with a little sassy. And then someone's like, you kind of sound like that story Sybil with multiple personalities. I'm like, oh, good, totally crazy.
Well, I feel that anybody who doesn't have a little bit of multiple personality disorder, like, they're not creative at all.
Yeah, and I think that's really what it is. It's not really, because I had a psychiatrist all scared it was like some major disorder. And I looked at him, I'm like, bro, I don't know why I have to tell you your job. I said, but you have the id, the ego, and the stupid ego. Every one of them can have a different voice. Whether one is an old school mom that you need to lock in a closet because she's being a bitch, or the dude who's like, clean your room. They're all three can have a separate voice and still be part of who you are. And that's really what those three voices were always for. Now I'm just kind of putting it all together, and whatever happens is just fun chaos.
Well, that's one of the things that I was discussing with Pooch. When I'm writing screen, I don't even want to imagine what my neighbors think, because as I'm typing dialogue, I often act it out in the character's voice. So when I was doing my screenplay for Giggles, I was in here at the top of my lungs sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning talking like a killer clown.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
It's always funny. Is that I do a lot of animation voices.
Right.
And I play a lot of weird aliens or planets, and I do them in the middle of the night. So the neighbors.
I'm going to try that on my neighbors.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe they behave better. Really, just great way to freak out your neighbors and keep them in line, just in the middle of the night, screaming, oh, all sorts of crazy noises, and then just like silence again. Could you imagine if you just see the neighbor's light turn on, like, shit, do I do something? No. And then every night at the same time, just start freaking them out. It'd be fun. Well, you know.
See, I live in the country. I can't do that.
You can. You just have to go for a drive.
So real quick,
Here.
real quick, we have some interaction. Mike Silk says, "Happy Horrors, Lauren."
Oh, hi, Mike Silk. We love you.
Lucy Loomis says, "We need a slogan for the shows on Tuesdays," and she suggested Dead Dollies killing Tuesday nights. But we have a slogan. It's "Come play dead with us."
Ooh, come play dead with us. Oh, that sounds fun. See, I brought it someplace strange real quick. I love it.
David Labs. We have Cheryl Labs who says hi, and then David Labs says, "I can't wear earplugs at work because it makes the voices in my head too loud."
We'll work on it, darling. We'll figure something out for you.
Pete Fulmer, who I don't know if you know, he is the master of Dead Ed.
Yes.
So he says, "I like the devil herself."
Yay!
And well, he's now here as Dead Ed, so that's cool. Way to go. Stay as either or stay as both, however you want to do it, Pete.
You should show up as both. We need both of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have Martha Sandusky.
Hi,
I'm sure you know Martha. Martha's here. Bella Gina Long and Jersey Ann Proudly.
Ooh, hi guys.
So we have a lot of friends in tonight, which is great. Thank
Please
you all
make
for
sure
stopping
you
in.
share. Everyone, please make sure you share this to your page. Make sure you invite your friends in. Let's make it a big party with all of us.
And I just wanted to check. You're giving away.
I'm giving away a free copy of The Storyteller of Pain, which is about a psychiatrist trapped within a lunatic asylum with 13 different types of demons and a deadly surgeon all trying to get her at once. She has to figure out how to survive all of it without the help of a priest. How does she do it? Gotta read the book to find out.
Now, if they hashtag Storyteller of Pain, will that lead anywhere to?
Oh yeah. If you do hashtag The Storyteller of Pain, it'll definitely pop up a lot of my stuff. Maybe a few precarious other things, so that could be fun. You could let me know.
Where are they selling it?
All my books are sold in hell first, and then we discussed, and he said Amazon is a good choice. Yeah, you know, I always discuss it with the Dead. I mean, Dead Ed, as long as it's cool with him, he likes the very devil herself. I'm so glad. I actually have a picture of me and Dead Ed while I'm kissing his face because it's just so cute. Necrophilia, Jack open a cold one. But yes, you can absolutely find all of my books on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And also you can find me at any of the conventions. I definitely will get you a copy and sign it for you. We can take pictures, all that fun, snazzy stuff. But yeah, Amazon is best bet for the books, especially since you can have that 2-day Prime. So, you know, if you can't handle it, you can get it on Kindle or right to your door for 2 days.
Now, does the hashtag have to have the or just Storyteller of Pain?
I would put the.
Okay.
Hashtag The Storyteller of Pain.
So here's what we're going to do this week.
Hashtag Loren Molloy.
Well, I want to do one hashtag for people. here's what we're going to do. We're a little bit behind. We're not going to be able to give away the book from last week. I had a major crash with my computer this week, so I didn't have time to go through the list. Everyone who's not part of Dead Dollies or Creepy Manor, that hashtags. I'm going to post this in just a second. The Storyteller of Pain. You will be entered in a drawing to win Loren's book, and we'll do the drawing via a program that randomly selects somebody on the show next week. So make sure you hashtag. I'm going to put it up in the room. You hashtag.
No, you can't add that, Blake. Introduce Blake.
1 second.
I really like this hand because I couldn't tell. Give yourself a hand. I already did.
Got a hand in me.
Round of applause. Guys, this is good stuff. You need to be sharing this video.
On Amazon, your dragon book is like $2,000.
Oh, that?
Oh, it's a different country. Yeah, I found that with my books too. I went to $499.
No.
Amazon has different countries, and if you went to the wrong country, you get the wrong.
No, this is actually $2,000. You're absolutely right. In America, what happened with that was my kid's illustrated book, Where Did All the Dragons Go? What happened was I had started it on a different publishing site, then switched it over to the rest of them so they were all condensed. That one book is by some random person who must have bought a copy from that very first publishing and threw it up on Amazon. For over $2,000. I am not selling any book for $2,000. There is no book that's worth it unless it's made out of gold or maybe has like demons attached to it or something. But if you click on it, there's actually other ones through me that are like $14.95. Okay. So I saw that. I actually took a picture of it. I'm like, somebody thinks it's worth over $2,000. All right.
I was like,
There
trying
are.
to ask you about that. I was like, what?
And then there's another one. I think it's Flat Dreams and Shadow Illusions. I found it on one of the sites, and it was like $999. I'm like, what? I'm like, I can do that. And I look at it, some random seller. And this one has another weird one where they shared it on something, and I don't know why they're allowed to do this, but it says my name and it says 1865. Like I published it in 1865. And I'm like, all right, I look damn good. Which means I must really be the very younger self, that immortal cannibal.
I'm not going to say the title because I'm not here to plug my own stuff, but the original copy, there are 4 in existence. I own one of my original novel. Mm-hmm. 4 copies exist. When I self-published, and when I published, I put 1 chapter in there twice. So I had to print a corrected copy, but I didn't find out till one of my friends bought the book and read it.
Oh,
I didn't read my own book when it came. I was like, you know, I slept with it, but I didn't read it.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to open it.
I slept. I just didn't read the page.
But one of my friends was like, hey, I think it's like chapter 21 or whatever. They're like, did you know that chapter 21's in here twice? Oh. So I went back and checked real quick, and I had to print a corrected version. So if the 3 other people who own that book, you might be sitting on a gold mine.
Right, and that's what I felt like with the illustrated one. I'm glad you brought it up. And I'm like, if somebody actually buys it, I'll sign it. If you buy that $2,000 copy book, I will sign it for you.
If you get the money.
No, I want them to buy the book. I just want somebody to buy it for $2,000 so I can sign it and be like, somebody bought one of my books for over $2,000. I mean, hey, oil tycoons, you might like the book. Yeah, I'm sure you got plenty of money. $2,000 won't be much for you, right? Somebody tell somebody wealthy, like a billionaire.
I mean,
right?
Yeah, give a raving review from like a teacher.
Yeah, that was really exciting. And the kids' book is actually, as far as I know, going to be in a few of the universities all over the United States, as well as going through. Yeah. Where Did All the Dragons Go is actually an illustrated children's book. I know that sounds weird because I do all sorts of horror stuff, but before I started my adventure into the world of horror, I was a special needs aggressive autistic kindergarten teacher who had to tell lots of stories to kids. And then my brother My sister-in-law had kids, and I was like, well, they can't read the horrific stuff I write. So I decided to make it into an actual physical kids book to give it to them. So it's all made through paint.
Wow.
I couldn't use Photoshop. I had patience issues. So there's 1,000 little clicks, and one hand almost didn't work ever again, but it's all. And now I have 2 more kids books coming out, which I have to do illustrations for. Black Cats and Witches, and the other one is Where Did All the Unicorns Go? Because I started getting letters from actual kids, like drawing pictures from Where Did All the Dragons Go, going, please write more with fairies and magical creatures. And I was like, I can't tell a child no. So while writing the Bedtime Killer horror novel that's coming out this March, I literally also wrote 2 kids books because I couldn't break promise to a child. So now I'm trying to work on all the illustrations for those so that I really can keep my word and have them come out hopefully around October. See, I do. I'm hopeful. It's just a lot of illustrations for 2 kids books. So we'll see.
Yeah, it looks
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate here just because we have some comments, and someone said John Fulmer wants to know.
Oh, hi, John.
So is the devil herself single?
If we're talking about me, or are we talking about the book character? Because those are 2 different entities.
That's a good question. We had someone, Megan Kathleen just joined. We have Jim Stressman, who's a friend of mine from high school, hashtag. John Fulmer said that's awesome, and then said you.
Oh, yes, I am single right now. But it will depend on the right click of a personality and all those little nuances. So I'm not in a rush, but I am looking for that one right person that will fit my life and my personality. And I feel like if you rush that kind of thing, then you just wind up having a hindrance or a sadness in your life instead of an added bonus. So
just get a dead one, you can mold.
No, I'd rather just get a mold. The dead start to mold, so that smells, and then they come and have problems. I mean, we store 7. You see how many air fresheners that dude needed?
But you can always find a good taxidermist or learn the trade yourself. And
technically, I have a few already, so you're right.
So,
I mean, just embalm them, pack them with some sawdust.
all you really need is the skin.
It's true. It's very true. I mean, you gotta take care of that.
Well, that'd be a cool idea. Someone make a person with taxidermist.
No, you're right. I can see where that's going. Listen, there's a few of us that's going to have to talk because this is a good idea. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just found a new way to hide a body. Thank you very much, darling.
See that head up on the wall?
What really sucks is that you used to be able to just ask Alexa.
Right?
And now it's like, that used to be like the coolest trick. My son first got he'd be like, Alexa, where's somewhere I can hide the body of a dead hooker? And she would tell us places in the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah. I had that with Siri, and then after that was
That's
over,
what it was. It was Siri. It wasn't Alexa.
After it was over with that question, that were like the dog, a swamp, this, that, and the other, I started trying to ask her other questions, and she had an attitude. She didn't want to answer my question. She didn't want to help me do things. Suddenly, she got all sorts of snarky on me.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, damn, I guess I better not ask you questions like that. I feel like maybe she's a bit of a narc. Siri's a narc. No, I gotta be careful. I mean, I actually tried to get directions once. I was like, Siri, directions for whatever. And, it started doing it. And I was believing it all of a sudden. I was like, she just drove me to a sump. I was like, I'm pretty sure Siri hates my ass. Because we started asking a bunch of those online questions and said you could do, and some of them were pretty douchey.
Hey, Google's taking those off. They took me to, somebody wanted to go to Walmart for some reason, and they put it up, in the Google thing, and it was a trick.
That's hilarious.
And there was nothing there except cars, and I'm wondering.
What other questions do we have?
So Lucy Loomis says, give me 1 second. Let me just finish the share. I'm trying to share the video and get us some more.
Share it.
Get us some more views here.
Sharing is caring. Everybody who's watching, make sure you share the video. Make sure you invite your friends. Text them, message them. Be like, horror, Loren Molloy is here. You got to see this. Sharing, caring, and
So Lucy says, Is there something you have wanted to write about but haven't been able to yet?
I haven't been able to yet. It would probably only mean I haven't gotten to yet. And so far, not really. Honestly, I wrote about an immortal cannibal who was a hitman from the 16th through 19th century. Then I wrote about demons and psychiatrists and all that stuff. And now with the bedtime killer, it's all about keeping Tom to a serial killer. And I think, in all honesty, there isn't anything where I was like, oh, gee, I would have loved to write that, but I haven't done so yet for any reason other than just,
A lot of psychiatrists, a lot of people think psychiatrists are demons.
well, some are, I mean, hey.
Well, if you've ever watched Lucifer,
Yeah.
one of the doctors was I don't know if he was a demon. No, he was an angel posing as a psychiatrist to get information from another psychiatrist who was treating Lucifer.
Yeah.
So,
But I think the only thing I haven't written would be, everyone keeps saying you have such an interesting life story, you should write it. I am not writing that book until I'm at least, 6 years old. I have to wait for a lot of people to pass on before I start writing that one.
I'm in that same boat with my past. Like, I have to wait till a lot of people die before I write my memoirs.
I mean, I'm just starting to do well with the family again. That's another weird thing. I started publishing horror stuff, and a lot of people were so freaked out by it that it was like,
That's only
well, when they're family, it's a little stranger. You're like, oh, you're that freaked out? But your blood. I'm not going to eat you, you know, your family.
Have you had any interest in acting, too? That you acted horror films?
Yeah, actually, I've been in a few little things in the background because I wanted to see how a film or a short or a TV show, because I've been in each, was actually done. So I didn't have to worry about lines or what my cues were so that I could watch the whole thing kind of be done. Now that I finished all my horror novels for this year, because the Bedtime Killer's done, I am now turning all of my horror novels into screenplays because I knew you were going to.
Hey, this is fun.
Oh yeah. I actually have a few people that are already waiting for me to finish the screenplay for The Very Devil Herself, which went into a TV show, which I'm very excited about. And we talked about channels that it could be on, and I was very clear. I was very, very clear. I was like, The Very Devil Herself is about an immortal cannibal who works for the King of England, hunting down historical serial killers. If you've never read the book, guys, you need to read it just so you can understand what a face roll-up is. All right? It's gruesome fun, but if you have a channel that's like a basic channel or whatever with a lot of those, like, oh, you can't have this, can't have that, they wouldn't do this book justice as a TV show or whatever. I want the gore, I want all those.
Nowadays, you're lucky. Nowadays,
It was
oh my
yeah.
God, it was like 3 channels.
Right?
But now there's everybody and the mother wants content. I mean, there's 10 gazillion people looking for content. I'm sure
There,
some
yeah.
will definitely be happy with this.
Yeah, I'm really excited because we actually are talking, we're going to talk to and talking to one of those all, you know, how it all fluctuates in the field, but we're looking into Amazon, Netflix, Hulu as basics, but we're also talking to some of the big cable channels, I guess you would say, like Showtime or Cinemax would be my two choices. HBO still can't do as much as a cinema for some weird bleeping reason, or they don't, yeah. Because, you know, just gore and porn ain't my thing, and, you know, True Blood was a little bit too much gore. I love True Blood, please don't be angry, but The Very Devil Herself is a little more with all gore and more storyline instead of just, you know, back and forth between relationships and those characters. So in that idea of it, it would be better to have a channel where it wouldn't be, oh, no, you can't show that. You can't show what a face roll-up is. I mean, in all honesty, if they said it to me, I'd be like, cut, we got to pick a different channel.
Well, see, if you look at the rules, if you look at the rules for certain things, I recently watched a documentary on the movie Scream.
Yeah.
And the whole big ending of Scream was shot at one scene.
Yeah.
In the script, and they talked about when it went to, you know, to post-production to be released and stuff like that, there were a lot of things in that got hit and one of them was that there was moving blood.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, seriously? You can't show moving blood?
Blood moves normally when it seeps out.
Yeah.
It's moving. I mean,
There's tons of things like that, or like
I mean, you see blood moving all the time when it comes out.
absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just
hope
like,
it's moving when it's
it's depending how dead the body is.
Well, yeah.
You're welcome. If the body's been dead for a long time, it's not
Yeah,
gonna
no,
sludge out like tar.
It's gonna be.
Just depending.
It just was a shock to me because I just watched something on I was watching what's that show called we were just talking about, Big Little Lies or something like that. Yeah,
I talked about with somebody.
I think it was on Sunday where we were discussing.
Right.
And
right.
There's a scene where the guy who played as Eric in True Blood, he's married to Nicole Kidman and he wants sex and he pulls his penis out.
Mm-hmm.
And they show, I don't know if it was his for real,
Yeah.
or if it was fake, but they show a penis.
Yeah.
So you can show a penis, but you can't show moving blood. It just doesn't.
It also has to, there's another weird one where it has to do with the color. Let's say you're gonna embowel somebody. Certain channels, certain things, ratings, you can't have it be actually the color that the body would be, because that's why when you see it in the movie and it's that bright pink, it wouldn't be bright pink. It'd be
No,
grayish color. And when you see it like that, it's very often because they weren't allowed to show it on their channel too realistic. Nonsense. But you can have a dick on camera. That's bizarre.
Right. I mean, like.
There's a lot of dicks on camera.
There's so many. And then, sometimes they're also naked from the waist down. Sorry, I couldn't help the voices.
So just a shout in between things here. We have who did I was about to miss somebody. So we have Alyssa Hoffner, Allie, who plays Little Scary Mary on Creepy Manor. We have Chris Albert and Doug Rogowski.
Ooh.
We have some New Jersey Horror Con royalty in here, which is always good. So give them a quick shout out.
Hello.
And if any of you are in the room, please share the video, like the video, comment. It helps us to get viewers, and it helps us to get more people to come on. Stuff like that. So spam the shit out of our show.
It's so weird. Now that's going to show up 30 seconds later. That's what the term is.
I know. Just so you guys
Oh, that's
know,
right. You guys can see tonight. I forgot.
We have a camera facing up this way so we can see. And it's a delay, so that's why I'm kind of messing with you guys.
There's the
Oh, look, yeah. All right, guys. So if you have a slight delay, that's fun too. So, I could just see me going, you can't see this.
But some normally,
Yeah.
some people normally are on the delay.
They are, so it makes it even more beneficial for us. Okay, good.
It's a wonderful way that Facebook Live is set up, because I just now saw you doing this. I can watch it live, but I can't see the comments. Like the way they're set up, I have to actually go and open the video.
So
and another thing, to be able to see all the comments and everything, it's Facebook. Get your shit together.
I got stressed, right? Like,
Yes, we only got an hour left.
all right, let's be good. Yeah.
I do love Facebook. I mean, they're one of the best platforms out there, but at the same time, like a lot of the shit they do.
Yeah. All right, we all using the hashtag The Storyteller of Pain to be able to win a copy of my book, The Storyteller of Pain.
Which is really good.
Oh, yeah. It won the Raven Award, which means only horror fans voted for the best horror novel. So no judges, just regular readers like you and I, like all of us, voted, and Storyteller of Pain won the Raven Award for best horror novel from readers just like you. So make sure you use that hashtag, share it around when you share the video too. The Storyteller of Pain.
So is this one going to be turned into a movie?
All of them, baby. All of them. That one actually might be, The Storyteller of Pain, we haven't decided. We're either going to do a movie, but I'm actually feeling more of like a mini-series. You know how BBC does those 3 really long episodes, and you're going, oh my god, I love it, but I need more. I might do it like that.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Like 3-parters, and it's going to be that douchey moment in between part 1 and part 2 where you're like, damn you, bitch, don't stop here. That's what I'm hoping for.
So you kind of like when they did the series. Stephen King did that thing where you had to wait.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to do that to us?
No, I don't think I want to make anybody wait. Because I don't wait. I don't do well with that. I mean, patience is not a virtue of mine as well as it should be. What I'd like to do, though, is let's say whether it's Amazon or Hulu, Cinemax, whatever the F it is, I'd like to have it be 3 parts that are already done and uploaded so you can watch them in 3 parts or take your time. You know what I mean? You could binge watch that shit, or you could be like, I watched only 1 part. I have to have some sunlight and some, whatever first. But I don't think I could. The only reason I would do one of those, I can't believe you did this to us, bitch, is basically if it was funding and I couldn't get it all done in time. But, because it's the kind of thing, let's say part 1 took a year to do.
Yeah.
And part 2 takes 2 years because there's so much craziness. I don't want them to be waiting 3 or 4 years for part 1 just to wait. So that's the only reason it's kind of like, I really hope I can do that to anybody.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to be like that one show that's not going to come out until like 2019 or whatever.
Right, exactly. Like, or 7 years from now.
Well, the Raven, more.
Come on.
Oh, that's really awesome.
Hey, we're not even. Oh, there we go. I was like,
Yeah, I'm trying to.
30 seconds. Wait 30 seconds.
No, I'm trying to figure out.
They banned us already.
There's no way. Facebook loves us. I know you do. It's okay.
So do you have any plans of doing any more poems?
Actually, funny enough, I haven't even thought about poems again yet. I guess just because it hasn't been the one
There we are.
that most people have been really interested in. It's such a...
There we are.
Yeah, that's a lie. That's the one that I don't get everything in real time. I'm trying to figure out what happened here.
Something weird's going on. Now we're back to...
You guys just keep doing what you're doing.
I'm like... So, hey guys, hammers from Loren, Molloy, and the Dead Dolly Crew. I just figured I'd throw that in there in the middle just in case you had a glitchy moment or two. Yeah, we're still on.
It's still showing as live, but I'm trying to get it working on my end. Like I can watch it live. I just can't.
Oh, now it's come up. There we go.
We're back. We'll see. I think see what happens when you make comments about Facebook. Facebook shows you its power, which is why we love you, Facebook. We swear, we love you. Just keep playing the videos, bro.
See, I'm like frozen here.
Yeah, this side's frozen too.
And
guys, if you can see us, if you guys can see us on the video, please comment. Let us know if you can see it.
Laura's going nervous.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep.
Let me try my phone.
Like I said, guys, if
All right,
you
so
can see us.
The feed that you're seeing now is live. And I just got a comment that said, you're still good.
Okay, cool.
You never left. You are moving.
Awesome.
But I did notice that a lot of people left and came back, so I don't know.
Maybe we all had a glitch because let's not talk about Facebook. First rule about Facebook Live is you don't talk about Facebook.
We love you, Facebook.
Fight Club. All right, guys, make sure you invite your friends, share it with everybody.
Friends, enemies, we don't care.
Everybody. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, we'll stop there, I promise. I'll be good.
We brought harmony between the id, the ego.
So you guys have any questions for us, please write them in the comments section.
Yeah, Jeff Kratzer just said it glitched for a second.
Okay.
Now on my end,
Thank you, Jeff.
Again, if I go back to this feed,
There we go.
if I go back to this feed,
Now we're on time.
right, well, that's a lot. That's the live, but this one here,
Wait,
it's saying live, but we're not moving, but they're seeing us live, so.
Is there a couple on there?
I'm just going to keep wiggling just a little bit so that you guys can still see that we're moving.
Contrary to popular belief, we're still alive.
You guys just keep doing what you're doing.
All right,
I'm
go ahead,
gonna
baby girl. What?
refresh this side of it to see if.
So which out of all your books, which one do you think is your absolute favorite one that you wrote good?
Honestly, I don't have a favorite. I know that's kind of weird, but I think it's because each one is so different that they're individual and unique in their own way. I do like the Storyteller of Pain because of all the, what I did was I researched every form of spirituality, of faith, of religion that our world has used ever for how people had to handle demons if you weren't a practicing Catholic. Because what people don't normally remember is if you're not Catholic and going to church every Sunday and you don't get the Vatican to also agree, you don't get to have the exorcism. They're like, oh, tough shit, bye. I'm sorry, but that's the truth for the most part. So what would you do if you're not Catholic? What do you do if you're Jewish or Hindu or Voodoo or Hoodoo?
Well, I'll tell you, I you know.
So what I did was I researched it, and for me, in the Storyteller of Pain, there's all these weird little tips just in case. Because once you start reading it, your mind opens up, and then, you know, some stuff starts to happen in your universe, you know. I had a girl, I should say lady, reading the book in one of the hotel rooms from the last con I worked, and literally all sorts of people started talking about all weird stuff that was happening in the hotel room, like alarm clocks that were completely unplugged that were playing anyway, and it was only after she started reading 3 pages in. So we're kind of teasing that the Storyteller of Pain is its own evil grimoire in a way. Once you open the pages, the Storyteller of Pain comes out and kind of starts looking at you.
Yeah.
But I like The Very Devil Herself for the complete opposite kind of spectrum of it. It has all the historical, accurate details. If it says 1679, let's say, and she walked into a bar, I did so much research that if it says those stool, you know, the cushions on the stools were, you know, red velvet, if you go there today, it's still red velvet. And that I was able to find 2 historical serial killers for each time period through that book, and have them be real, and have this immortal cannibal be able to, you know, do a little spin on what it could have been if she was a real existence. I love all that fact of it too, because I'm an Anglophile. I love everything London. I love everything England. Right? I think I was there. I would think I was in a past life. I was a Londonite, or however they like to say it.
Or you were the,
I mean, I could have been Jack the Ripper for all I know. Honestly, I mean, with the amount of knowledge I know how to kill people.
Well, it's like being here, but...
Well, if you leave, then I must kill you.
Well, see, I have an excuse. I was a Marine, so that's why I know how to kill people.
I have no good excuses except I was born with a brain that even as a little kid, I'd be like, you know, if you're not careful, that will just rip your head off, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, she's right. Too spooky for words. But that's how I got the nickname Spooky Bitch, because, you know, you say something, I'm like, you know, if you use this such a thing with that such a thing, you can take that person's head off and then, you know, and melt it, and you don't have to worry about trace prints. Just everybody has to worry about, you know, bathroom drains and things like that. That's where they get caught. See, way too much information, and a lot of it is not from recent research, just already there.
I'm wondering,
like autopsies.
Maybe you were serial killer.
I could have been. I mean, I also kind of wish I was. Almost believe I was like Elizabeth Bathory in a way, because I have so many little things connected to her. But that story seems to be more legend and folklore, bashing a woman in power during that time. If you ask a certain people, I love the legend and lore that she, you know, laid in pools of blood and things like that to be pretty. I like that concept. But, you know, historically, from what we know, it's all a bunch of bullshit trying to get a woman out of power. I don't know if it's true. I wasn't there. Don't argue with me over it. I just know when you bring it up, there are some people that say, historically, it really was just bashing a woman that had all the power and blah, blah, blah. But in both cases, it makes sense that I could have been them. You think about it. And then I'm like, maybe it's just wishful thinking in a very strange horror writer sort of way.
Yeah.
Never know. I mean, who knows who we were in past lives. But I think that's the reasoning why each one is its own kind of different. I can't just pick one. You know, I have a hand for everyone.
You have that hand.
I know, right? Can't
Really?
put these little kind of props in front of me.
I just want to
so
see
bad.
your figure.
Oh, that's soon. That's soon. Okay. Stay tuned.
Nobody left.
Loren's head will spin on its own.
Nobody
Like
left.
Beetlejuice.
I love that song.
I know. I saw that you really like Beetlejuice. You have that on here.
Yep, absolutely. I love Beetlejuice. So that movie when I was 4 on accident, and it was the scene where literally they're ripping their faces off trying to get attention from the people. And it was like 4:30 in the morning. I shouldn't be watching anything. I should still be in bed. And I'm like, awful sounds and things. And family comes running in. Why are you watching TV? Same thing happened with Hellraiser. I was like 7, turned on the TV early morning, and it was the moment where Jesus wept. So it was Jesus wept, and I was like, and now they're still my absolute favorite movies.
Totally opposite. My dad was just like, "Hey, watch horror movies with me. Come on." And I was like, "Ah!"
Awesome.
And I was in love.
I still don't get why. Well, I guess maybe because the movies like it and stuff that people are so afraid of. I just don't get it.
Clowns have a weird psychology having to do
Yeah, like
with
there's some
hiding
people
yourself
love
in a
them.
weird way.
They like love or hate it.
Yeah.
You know? You're scared of it.
I'm also like all those fears. But it's like it's kind of like any fear. It's one of those. It's hard to explain unless you had some really
My daughter is scared to death of the clowns.
So is my sister-in-law. Absolutely terrified.
Yeah, but it was so weird.
Nobody's scared. Anything with masks or clowns.
I
Definitely.
I know the clowns. I didn't know about the mask.
It's something having to do with. I read something. I can't remember the exact details, but it's because with clowns, you're messing with the dimensions of what a human face should look like. So as a child, depending on what's going on, it messes with the psychology of like identity in a way. From what I remember, and don't quote me, but that's what I remember of it. So then it starts playing with those kinds of issues.
You might wonder with the person with mask stuff
Underneath. It's funny. I have a few friends who do a lot of like cosplay stuff, and they wear different masks. And one of them was telling me, he's like, I get hit on all the time when I'm wearing a mask. Then I'm like, sure, I believe one of the girls, whatever, go to sit down, and the mask is off, and she's not interested anymore. And I'm like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, something about the mask. It does a weird thing to some women.
Weird.
Right? I never thought about that.
Well,
That's the opposite kind of thing.
Yeah, they probably picture in their own mind
What he'd be underneath.
It really looks like. They would just go away in the world.
No, I think they just want to have sex with a dude with a mask on, and then it's just like, damn, what are we having drinks with a regular dude for? I think that's part of the issue on that one.
Please don't take your mask off.
Could you imagine? Well, what was the Rob Zombie Halloween, right? You want to have sex with that weird mask on, and of course the kid to have the trigger, so he starts wearing it. It's a weird thing if you follow it in a way. Rob Zombie Halloween, the boyfriend's having sex with the girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And Michael Myers winds up watching them fornicate, whatever they're doing in the scene. I said fornicate. Yeah. You're welcome. And since he's already so disturbed and has all the abuse and etc., that winds up causing a connection needing masks, because the whole rest of his existence, he only kills because of the mask. So I wonder if there's some interesting psychology connecting to it. I love psychology. It's just, it's so fascinating and so many different facets of it.
Actually, one of my books is kind of books psychology. So how do you create a water box? Okay, and it has to do, because we're still living by the industrial age and stuff like that. They're raising a ton of kids, in school nowadays.
Yeah.
So you get into a whole psychology.
Fascinating. Next question.
Is there any questions?
How's the comments going? Hey, everybody.
We weren't getting anything because we had a glitch on this end. Everyone said that they can see, but I was not getting any comments or anything.
Fascinating.
Yeah, like the feed on this side just froze again.
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah.
Well, you need to, I see an arrow.
See, like if I go here, that does live, but I don't have comments.
We even like that button. My side shows comments on this
Right, but they're all old.
one. Oh.
They read your book.
They did?
Yeah, they're going weird.
It's because we opened up the Storyteller of Pain and it's like, could you imagine it froze just because I opened the cover? That would be hilarious. Bad, but hilarious all at the same time.
I don't know.
Yes, you guys just keep going.
Oh, well,
Like I said, we are live. I'm just not getting the
we're
proper
live every
feed.
day. That's
Well,
we're
we're
in
at all.
between.
So.
I mean, it is a horror thing, so it does work to be alive and dead at the same time. So come play with us.
I'm trying to think of the word that you could be live and dead at the same time. Like the
Well, there was
and the sex.
Living Dead?
Sex.
Living Dead.
Yeah, Living Dead.
there was a guy that was just recently. They said that he was pronounced dead 4 times by doctors, and then when they went to do the autopsy, he was alive.
Well, they've had that where they do things from a casket in a funeral home.
Well, that's how they started with the bell back in the day. That's how they started with the bell back in the day in cemeteries, because if you were buried alive, you could pull the bell and ring, and then somebody was supposed to come undig you. But the theory, I mean, in all honesty, by the time you wake up and ring the bell and somebody comes over, you don't put up oxygen in the first place. This theory is only sort of okay. And there are some drugs that make you, if ingested, make you seem dead.
Yeah.
Stop breathing, all that, whatever. That's how we got in trouble. I tried to research a lot of those. I get FBI at the door.
Your pulses are running. Well, either that or they have to be body.
That's washing.
Yeah, there's a few of those.
They can put you out.
Doing research sometimes.
It's just funny because I do so much different types of research. It raised so many red flags that I actually have this picture of a coffee cup and it says, ignore my browser history. I'm a writer, not a serial killer. And I'll post it every once in a while when I'm doing some really messed up research. Like, how to do an autopsy, how long it takes for, bodies to get rigor mortis, or, what drug put in the system won't show up. When I do those kinds of things, I post the picture of the coffee cup and go, FBI, CIA, or the rest of you, ignore this, please, don't show up at my door, kind of thing. I did that once or twice because they literally showed up at my door.
Did you ever do research for something really?
Always. But it's always like weird little details that make me want to go on a weird goose chase of like, well, then how does that happen? And then where did that come from? And then all of a sudden I'm like in 13 AD or something going, this has nothing to do with my story. Nobody's going to care about all of this and not know how to get back.
Have you ever asked like the FBI if you go to that field where you can see the, you know what I mean, the dead thing?
Oh, yeah, like practicing crime scenes kind of thing.
Have they ever?
No, we don't have any of those wonderful, nice conversations. Last time I looked at them and I was kind of just like, I'm a writer. Do your research first and close the door. I waited on the other side of the door just praying that they would leave the bell again. And they did. They walked up, thank God. Probably because they were like, damn it. I was so freaked out. But I didn't really have enough, willpower to be like, so can I go see some dead bodies? Can you bring me to your crime scene so I can get better at this shit? I really want something for it.
Maybe, could you, do you have like,
I might ask some people, but I don't see anybody wanting me to go near any of that.
Can I please go look at dead bodies?
I've tried. I mean, I've been like, listen, when you're going to do an autopsy, just call me down to the morgue. I'll watch. There's a lot of clearance issues.
Yeah.
There's a lot of...
I'd rather, I can watch them in film and TV, but in person, I don't know about that.
I actually was going to go to school for all that. And that's why I was studying... Yeah, I was doing all that, and I just was reading books on it and everything. And in the Storyteller of Pain, there's actually having to do with autopsies. A little bit, a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. I'm such a horror writer. Like, it's a lot of fun, real gruesome, freaked out stuff.
What got you writing?
I've always written. Since I was a little kid, I mean, I read Edgar Allan Poe in first grade.
Wow.
Yeah, I was reading Grimm's fairy tales. When I was in first grade, I was on a 5th grade reading bubble. So, I was always too far ahead because I was always doing so much at home. I had a college professor as a parent and an English teacher as a parent. So then my dad became a lawyer, so then it was way too much. You have to have all this knowledge and etc. and whatever else.
There's nothing worse than having a mother as an English teacher. I had a mother as an English teacher, and there's nothing worse than arguing with your mother while she's correcting your English.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
The best is what I'd be like, I have an English paper, and I would give her the topic. Here's the topic. Let's discuss. And then I would write from there. And my dad was a history professor for a very long time. So there was a constant, like, you have to do all this extra work at home. And then I would go to school and be like, I'm so far past all this, which doesn't make you one of the cool kids. You know?
No.
When you're, like, still working on, you know, basic sentence structure and you're at the grade reading level, going, today I'm going to read The Raven to everybody. And then, you know, parent-teacher conferences about scaring children, or they really shouldn't know Grimm's fairy tale endings in first grade.
Have your parents read your books?
Oh, my mom's read everything. I'm actually, she hasn't read the bedtime story yet because it's that evening Tom turns serial killer. And she's like, when do I get to read the new one? I'm like, maybe never. She's like, what? You've never said that before. I'm like, this one's so gross. I pulled no punches. So literally went from all the peeping aspects to all the lust killer aspects of a serial killer, because it is a definite type of serial killer, which a lot of people forget. Serial killers have many different types. There's thrill, there's lust, blah, 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 many others. And with the lust killer, because it's such a sexual crimes and all this stuff, I was like, Ma, I can't have you read this, and then we're going to have coffee, and you're going to look at me, and I'm going to throw up. Because being a girl writer, I won't pull any punches. So at this point, I've read it and been like, I need a shower, I need sunlight, I need, you know, maybe some psychological help at this point, especially the amount of research I did on the psychology of a lust killer.
Where do you go for this kind of research now?
Yeah, I go online. Well, when I was young, I went to the library. I'd walk my ass all the way up to the library. Uphill both ways in snow with no shoes. Just kidding. But I did. The library was, you know, a block or two away, and I would go walk up, and, you know, when adults see a kid in the adult section of fiction books or nonfiction, they're not really going to bother the kid. They're more a little baffled. Well, yeah, so I was kind of like, remember the movie Matilda when this little kid? I was that kid sitting in the library with these huge, ginormous books, reading through stuff because I was just too fascinated. And then I started working at a library, and when I wasn't actually supposed to be working, because, you know, I wasn't the greatest worker when you're like 15, you don't really know. Well, at the time, they would have books like How to Walk a Crime Scene. Well, hell, I'm reading that in the films today, you know. So then it all just became in my head, you know. Now with the internet, if you can hack enough archives, you can find anything. Don't hack anything. Don't do what I do. You don't want to get in trouble, I swear. Otherwise, use a VPN. I mean, nothing.
This is why we're having problems.
No. I love Facebook. Facebook, we love you. Oh. So, ladies and gentlemen out there in Facebook land, please comment. Let us know you're there, even if you have before. Just help us out. Make sure to invite your friends, share it with your groups, with your text messages, whatever the hell you need to do. And ask us any questions that you want to ask us, because we're here to talk with you. All right. I really should stop doing that with the pen. I'm sorry, everyone. That's probably why we lost Facebook.
That's what I keep doing too.
Right? It's that clicking thing. It's the click, 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 click of the pen. The little, like, stylus number. The little stylus number. You start, like, and then, you know, it becomes, I'm so sorry. It's yeah, I do that too. See, I'm really ADHD, so, like, I'm constantly moving around and messing with stuff. And then,
well, that's what we is great. ADHD.
Right? I love little trees, happy little trees.
What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to close the feed and restart. I hate to do that, but I keep seeing so many people rejoining the show, and the feed keeps closing on this for me. So I don't know if it's a...
You should ask the audience.
The audience has said repeatedly that they keep seeing the feed,
okay,
but we're not getting any comments or anything. And the feed keeps closing on my screen. So I really hate to do this, but please.
Okay, guys, join part 2 coming up in a minute.
It's the subject.
It's all your fault.
You know what? I don't honestly think it is the subject matter, but
I see myself.